And the best part of Mount Thomas is the road out.
She didn't say that.
She did, and worse. That's why I really want Mount Thomas to win this Proud Town Award. You know, if St David's wins, we'll never hear the end
Well,
of
with
it.
you at the helm, I'm sure we'll win.
Not if Councillor Ruth Cohen can help it.
Ruth Cohen? Isn't she the one who had the
Stop
library
Mount
development?
Thomas from getting the library upgrade. That's her. She got all the money diverted to some project in her own ward.
Well, it's one way of getting yourself re-elected, I suppose.
Sorry I'm late, boss. I was just giving Sam a hand with the banner at the pub.
What banner?
Proud, you bet. Love it, Chris.
Good on you. Let's hope it works. Anyway, I'll see you all later. Thanks.
Okay,
Yeah.
have a good day, Chris.
So the town wins some dumb trophy. I mean, who really cares?
A lot of people, as it happens, Parish, including your landlady and your boss.
Yeah, I don't mind cleaning things up a bit.
Not if it interrupts your work in future. Bring it to my attention and I'll pass it on.
Like graffiti, that type of thing.
exactly.
Well, there's not really a lot of point, is there? It gets cleaned off one day, it's back again the next.
Haven't you ever heard about the broken window theory?
One of Einstein's, is it?
No, there's a building and a window gets busted. It doesn't get fixed, looks like nobody cares. Soon another one gets busted, then another. Before too long, you end up with a derelict building.
So you're saying fix the first window and then you
Or
won't...
you fix small problems before they become big ones, that's right.
So what, you're saying if we jump all over people for dropping Chewy in the street, they'll think twice about putting graffiti on a building?
Oh, well, worked pretty well in New York.
Zero tolerance, in other words.
This is not New York. Here, we tackle problems as soon as they come up.
Yeah, OK. Boss, we've got a problem.
Oh, that's charming. The first thing the Proud Town Committee going to see when they drive into town. It's nice, eh?
Where have you two been?
Oh, we went to the hardware store for Chris, get some stuff to clean up that sign. Remember what you said about civic pride?
And nobody saw anything.
Well, everyone's whizzing past at 100 clicks an hour.
All right, let's all keep our eyes peeled for potential graffiti artists.
This zero tolerance thing again.
Call it what you will.
Haven't we got enough work without running them in every time we see them jaywalking?
Oh, Joe, we wouldn't run them in for that. We'd just write them a penalty notice.
You know what I mean. So those kids over there, according to your new policy, we should move them on.
Well, I'll find out who they are anyway.
You're not actually going to hassle them, are you?
G'day. You, what are you doing?
Oh, bashing a few cans around, so what?
Well, you're littering the park, that's what. What's your name?
Joey.
Your full name?
Geller. Joey Geller.
I haven't seen you around here before. How old are you?
I don't have to tell you that.
No, but if I thought that you were under 16, I might decide that you were in need of care and protection and have to call in the DHS.
I'm 17, all right?
Where do you live?
I'm the place where I work. I'm a farm labourer.
And how come you're not labouring today?
Because it's only part-time.
Don't I know you?
No. She lives with me. She's 16, it's legal.
Can't she speak for herself?
Can't she? Watch it.
So, what do they call you then?
Rachel. Rachel Bing.
So, what's your name?
Yeah.
Phoebe.
I don't suppose
Smith?
any of you have been out on the highway today near the Welcome to Mount Thomas sign.
No, I live at
Well, someone's stolen it, have they?
No, I just asked you a question.
Sorry. The place to Erstine's out the other way.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask all of you to move on, thanks.
Yes, sir. Come on.
Hey. Those cans up.
They were just a bunch of kids.
Who have nothing better to do in the morning than hang around in a park.
Well, that's not illegal.
Hey, did you get the younger girl's details?
Yeah, name's Phoebe Smith. Said she goes to school, but today was a curriculum day.
You want to check the school for me, just confirm it?
Thanks, Tom. I really want to get this town spick and span for that committee.
Yeah, but unless you actually catch graffiti artists in the act, there's not much you can do about them.
Ben thinks they were hanging out at Memorial Park.
I think nothing of the sort. We just saw 3 kids in the park today. I just wanted to check them out.
I better get going. I'll see you later.
Yeah, right. So what were their names?
Joey Geller, Rachel Bing, and Phoebe Smith. Guess they're friends.
False names.
Oh, what do you reckon?
Yeah, can I help you, mate?
I would hope so. I've got bloody squatters in my house and I want them out.
So did they just break in?
The lock on the front door's been busted for a while. I suppose they just walked in.
Did you try talking to them, asking them to leave it all?
Are you serious? These could be drug-crazed hippies for all I know. Anyway, that's your job.
Oh, it's police. Open up. Is anybody home?
bastards. That wasn't there before. They won't let me into my own house.
Let's break the door in. Hey!
Open up, you bastards! I know you're in there!
Ben! All right, hold it right there.
Don't budge an inch.
All right.
Well, you really have made yourselves at home, haven't you?
Yeah, but it's my home.
You don't actually live here, though, do you, Mr. Morrison?
Hardly. The place was left to me by my grandmother. Shouldn't make any difference.
You don't even want the place.
It's still my property, not yours. I want them charged.
Well, there's no forced entry or damage. I mean, the place doesn't look too bad, really.
I don't care if they've renovated the kitchen and put on a second story.
You like my flowers? I got them from out the field. And the vase I got from a garage sale was about $4, but it was worth it, eh?
A woman's touch, eh, Rachel? Or is it Elizabeth?
You got it wrong. There's no Elizabeth here.
Funny, there's a letter here for an Elizabeth Orr claiming that she's not eligible for youth allowance.
Yeah, it's me, all right. The name's Libby. Just didn't want my parents finding me.
All right, thanks for that. What's your excuse?
This is great. Welcome to Matt Thomas. Now piss off.
Oliver Henry Jones, prize in New South Wales for burglary and willful damage. You could have saved us a lot of time.
Wouldn't want you guys to get bored.
Very considerate. So what brings you to this neck of the woods?
I heard it's a very proud town.
It is.
Just answer the question, please.
I like travelling around. I'll stop wherever I can pick up work.
And you got work here, have you?
I told you.
But you also told us your name was Joey.
All right, but the stuff I said about the job was true. I'm labouring for Tanya's aunt. Tanya Carmichael. She might have said her name was Phoebe or something.
All right, and Rachel, Libby. You also travel around with her, do you?
No, I met her here.
Right. So what do you like to do in your spare time, Ollie?
What's it to you?
No, what? Tell us. Come on, kick a few cans around, tag the odd tourist sign.
Not me, I told you. I just said that.
But as we're all agreed, you just say a lot of things.
Look, I never painted any sign.
You sure about that, Libby?
Holly and me, we're not into that stuff. We just want to be left alone.
When did you meet Ollie?
A few weeks ago. I just ran away from home wondering what the hell I was going to do.
And he was the one that suggested you both live at Mr. Morrison's place?
Yeah, he said the guy didn't want it anymore. We could move in together.
You sure he wasn't just taking advantage of the situation?
Oh, no. Ollie had never put it on me or anything. Just kind of happened, you know.
And he treats you all right, does he?
Oh, yeah, he treats me really good. You're not going to send me back to my mum and dad, are you?
Oh, you are 16, Libby. Legally old enough to make your own decisions. We just want to make sure everything's all right.
Oh, yeah, everything will be fine, as long as I don't have to go back there.
And the social worker we organised last time wasn't able to help.
Social worker's not much use when it's 1 in the morning, Dad comes home with a skinful and decides it's time to lay into us.
I met Ollie when he came to work in our farm. We just kind of hit it off. Of course, my aunt didn't like us talking much.
You live with your aunt?
Yeah, worse luck. She got me along with the farm when my parents died.
And your aunt didn't want you talking to Ollie?
That's right. So we started meeting me outside school.
I see. And what sort of stuff did you get up to?
Hang out? Nothing special.
Was Libby there?
Oh, yeah. She used to be in the year above me, but she dropped out at the end of last year.
Tanya, have you ever seen either of them do anything that they shouldn't?
No, never.
Tanya, does your aunt know you've been hanging out with Libby and Ollie?
You're not going to tell her, are you? She'll kill me.
Parish, we have no choice. The other two we can let go, but Tanya is only 15.
Lost both parents, poor kid.
Yes, I remember. Terrible crash. But luckily her aunt stepped into the breach.
She hadn't got any other kids, this aunt?
No, but I'm sure she's a responsible woman.
It just seems a bit unfair getting Tanya into trouble with her over this. At the end of the day, she probably hasn't done anything wrong except tell us a porky about curriculum day.
Look, maybe not, but I would not want my 15-year-old daughter hanging around with Ollie Jones.
Then you'd better get onto the aunt.
Yep, onto that now.
Yes, Mr. Morrison.
I came to see what you were doing about those kids.
Well, as there's been no offence committed, we don't intend to proceed with the matter.
They broke into the place.
It's my understanding that the front door lock was broken and they just walked in. They didn't intend to cause any damage. They just wanted shelter.
Look, I've got a house to sell and a buyer lined up who, as you can imagine, won't be interested in purchasing a property that includes a pack of homeless kids.
I can understand your position.
I don't think that you do. I am not playing Monopoly here. I have an important business transaction at stake.
I appreciate that, sir, and we're doing our best to resolve the matter.
Mr. Morrison, glad you're here. I've just been talking to Ollie. And he says he'd be more than happy to pay you a bit of rent, say $20 a week.
$20?
Oh, look, I know it's not a lot, but it's all they can afford at the moment, and from what I hear at the
So they
place,
think they can just move in, then offer rent after they get caught? Forget it. I want them out right
Well,
now.
how about you go through the proper channels? That would give us something to act on and give the kids time to sort something else out.
How about I just fix the lock and keep the beggars out, seeing as you lot won't act?
Right now, our hands are tied, Mr. Morrison.
Well, fortunately, mine aren't.
Just spoke to Tanya's aunt. Pretty upset she is.
Tanya, you all right?
Of course I'm all right.
You're free to go, Tanya. She's none the worse for wear, Miss Carmichael.
Well, if she was with Ollie Jones, I don't know I'd agree.
You don't know the first thing about him.
Yeah, and that's exactly my point, dear. I mean, he's transient. He's got no family.
I'm sure Ollie didn't intend any harm.
Nevertheless, you can see why I don't want Tanya hanging around with this young man unsupervised.
Crap! You don't want me talking to him at all.
Don't you talk to me like that, young lady.
Let go of me.
You're going home now.
Come on,
then maybe you'll learn to start to act responsibly.
I haven't done anything wrong.
Nothing wrong? You have lied to me. You told me you were over at Michelle's when all the time you're hanging around with that young hoodlum.
Ollie is not a hoodlum.
Don't you argue. Now you go out to the car. Now.
Off you go.
What's bringing you back?
Oh, it's all part of the service. Listen, Tanya seems like a pretty nice kid at heart. I wouldn't deal with her too severely.
How I deal with my niece really isn't any of your affair. Thanks again, Acting Sergeant.
She seems like a nice, loving type.
Oh, she's strict, that's all. So are my folks.
Yeah, well, she's got no idea how to raise a teenage daughter. That's
Who does? She's doing her best, I think.
That was her best, grabbing Tanya's arm like that. I thought we were going to have to drag her off her.
Yeah, but we didn't. Look, the aunt's doing what she can. Tanya was being pretty stroppy. You can't blame her.
Maybe, but still, I wouldn't mind getting DHS to do a follow-up just in case.
Joe, hold your horses. There's no evidence that there's anything wrong.
Yeah, OK, thanks for that. Bye. Just had a report of a disturbance out at the squat.
Right, on our way.
Out of my way!
Put the bloody thing down!
Mr. Morrison, that's enough! Let's go on. One at a time.
Put that down, sir!
Mr. Morrison!
Mr.
Mr.
Morrison!
Morrison! You put that down or you will be charged for criminal damage.
We're only trying to make it nice.
Yeah, well, here's nice. Now get out of my house.
Yeah, it's bloody hard getting all that stuff together. He shouldn't get away with it.
He won't. But unfortunately, you leave yourself wide open when you occupy somebody else's property.
So you tell us, where do we go?
Well, Constable Parrish is working on it.
Well, you may be receiving a summons.
Oh, this is bloody outrageous. They're in my house and I'm the one facing charges.
You can't just go around destroying other people's property.
What else am I supposed to do? You won't help me.
As I said, go through the correct channel.
And you aren't?
Apply for an order of possession from the Tenants' Tribunal, then we'll be able to help you.
Don't you worry, that's exactly what I intend doing.
And we'll be out in our ears. Bloody cops. I need to come down his side in the end.
Look, I'm sorry, Ollie, but that is the law.
Yeah, well, the law sucks.
So how long's this tribunal thing going to take?
Not long, a couple of days. But he can't tip you out until then.
Great.
Got one.
What, a house?
A caravan, cheap rent. You can move in today.
Cool. Do you hear that, Ollie?
Yeah, I'm not deaf. Where is it?
Mount Thomas Caravan Park, Penhope Road.
All right, we'll check it out. Thanks.
So you're saying you can have
you.
zero tolerance and still care about
That's exactly what I'm saying. Well, we did all right today. We sorted out Bill Morrison's problem with squatters. We found 2 kids, a place to live, and we returned another one to her home.
Very neat and tidy.
Oh, g'day, Chris, you slave driver. You got this mob working like Trojans.
Have to bribe them all with the promise of a free beer. Into the dining room, you lot. Sam will look after you.
Well, you must have the place looking pretty spick and span by now.
Yeah, looks like $1 million. Well, look who's slamming it in Mount Thomas, Ruth Cohen.
Chris, I wouldn't dream of being so rude about your charming little town. I'm actually here to offer you some business.
Checking out the winner, you mean?
No, I'm escorting the judging panel to Mount Thomas tomorrow night. We'd like 4 rooms for the night and dinner. No fish, I've got an allergy.
I didn't know Colonel Thomas was so well endowed.
What?
Someone's added to his statue.
I'm sure that'll impress the judging panel.
Tom!
Oh, I didn't. I'll go and see what I can do about it.
I just want to know who it was modelled on.
Okay, you didn't
It's got to be the same graffiti artist, boss. Bright blue appendage.
Any other clues at all?
Well, whoever did it certainly thinks size does matter.
Oh, thank you for that, Pat.
Boss, the caller just rang to report some kids throwing stones at traffic along Hetherington Way. Do you want me to check it out?
Absolutely. We're supposed to be following everything up, Jack.
Thank you very much, Stuart.
Okay, thanks, bye. Ben, Alison Carmichael. She went to get Tanya up for school this morning. She was gone, plus most of her things. It looks like she's run away. Your friend Tanya's gone missing. Any idea where she might have gone?
Well, I haven't seen her.
Right, you, Libby?
No, sorry.
Does she have any friends you know of? Anywhere she might go?
Oh, we don't really know any of her friends.
Sure you can't help. Her auntie's really worried.
Oh, if we did know where she was, we wouldn't be doing her aunt any favours. Oh, you won't find her in there.
Caravan park didn't work out, eh?
Can't afford it anymore, can we?
They didn't push the price up, did they?
The bloody Aunt Tanya's gave me the sack. Reckons I'm a bad influence on her niece.
Well, if she does turn up...
Don't worry, you'll be the last to know. I'm doing nothing to send her back to that old witch.
At least try to get her to contact Miss Carmichael.
Oh, if it didn't make you happy.
Yes, it would, Ollie. Very happy.
Suspects in some crime, are they?
I beg your pardon?
Those useless layabouts in there. I suppose they'd be expecting too much to think you were here to move them on.
Look, we've told you what you can do about that, Mr. Morrison.
Oh, bloody tenants' tribunal. They said they couldn't hear the case for a week. A bloody week!
Well, that's not so long, is it?
If it's not so long, why don't you let them squat at your place? Nah, didn't think so. I'm not going to let them blow the bloody sale.
Look, these kids aren't doing any harm. Why don't you just give them a break?
Yeah, I'll give them a bloody break, all right.
You've been warned, Mr. Morrison. Leave those kids alone.
Yeah, I'll go on the dial and get a nose ring. Then someone might listen to me.
It's a very serious offence. She could have injured somebody. Now, you'll have to appear at the
but that's not his point.
He's just being like a selfish kid who won't share his toys.
Don't touch a thing, mate.
Thank God you're back. So, any sign of the missing girl?
Well, we talked to all of her friends and went back to the squat. Who the hell are all these people?
This is the stone-throwing incident on Hetherington Way. So her friends from yesterday haven't seen her?
No, but we ran into Bill Morrison outside the squat. What's up his nose, I'd love to know.
I don't know, but his grandmother was the nicest person you'd ever want to meet. Let's get these people processed, shall we?
Hey, you, don't be doing that.
It's a big deal.
Big deal is you burn the place down. Give me a look at that. Pretty fancy lighter. Where'd you get it?
It's my dad's.
It is it? Do you know you got it?
Yeah, he said it was that.
Have a look in your pockets, please. What's your name?
Aidan Morrison.
You Bill Morrison's son?
Yes, sir.
What would your old man say if he knew you were smoking?
Put your butts in the ashtray.
Boss, that was Chris on the phone. She says she's caught a vandal red-handed.
Yes, I'm onto that.
Not you, Stuart. You started this zero-tolerance business. You sort it out. Parrish, come with me.
Are you going to get rid of this stuff or not?
Aren't you interested in helping the poor?
The poor have got nothing to do with this.
All right, what's going on?
Thank you for coming. She is messing up my nice, clean town.
It does look like a bit of a mess.
Rubbish. I'm making a charitable donation.
Why can't you make it in St David's?
All the bins there are full.
Yeah, well, this one's looking pretty full too.
She is deliberately littering our town. Arrest her!
That'll make a lovely headline, won't it? Councillor arrested for giving to the poor.
Nobody is arresting anyone.
Good, because as far as I know, donating to the poor is not a crime. The charities will collect this and be very grateful.
You can't let her leave this stuff here.
Technically, this is littering.
Tom?
All right, ladies, I think we'd better sort this out down at the station, shall we?
Yes, Miss Carmichael, I can appreciate you'd like your niece back, and I can assure you we're doing everything that we... Yes,
This is an
I
absolute
understand.
outrage.
What do you want now, sir?
My boy here gets harassed by the police for doing absolutely
Ben.
nothing, while those
Ben,
scumbag
yours.
squatters get off scot-free.
Mr. Morrison, your son's free to go.
I tell you, I've just about had enough. This is a good kid from a good home. It's not the likes of him you should be worried
Yes, I
about.
appreciate that. We're very busy today, thanks.
Yeah, wasting time on scumbags. It's a disgrace. Come on, let's go get you a nose ring.
Joe, what are you doing with all that stuff? It's a police station, it's not an op shop.
Yeah, well, no, there's Penhope Road and it wouldn't all fit in the charity bin.
Well, couldn't you sort it out there? Whose lame-brained idea was it to bring it in here?
Mine, as a matter of fact. So why don't you and Lawson go and give Parrish a hand? There are more boxes outside.
More boxes?
You ladies would like to take a seat in my office. Perhaps we can sort this out.
With Asia?
That was Gary Garvey. He's had a theft. A young kid loaded up a shopping trolley full of food and nicked off.
Cheeky operator.
Yeah, he was out the back with a couple of other customers.
Did he get a description?
Yeah, young girl, about 15, 16, long brown hair.
Tanya.
Did you get a description of the other two?
Sure did.
Yeah, we were there.
With Tanya?
Oh, I didn't see her. Did you see Tanya, Lib?
No, I didn't see her.
No? Well, someone answering her description wheeled a cart of groceries out of the store.
Oh, nothing to do with us. Sorry.
But you didn't hang around, you didn't make a purchase.
Well, nothing to stick around for.
Yeah, we just wanted to get a can of mushies that hadn't been genetically modified. But the guy couldn't find any, so we left.
And you didn't see the thief?
No.
I see. And this can of genetically modified mushrooms, they wouldn't have just been a smokescreen, would they? So Tanya could get out with the stuff while the manager wasn't looking?
Look, we've already told you.
You haven't seen her? Yes, I know, yeah. Do you mind if we go out and have a look around?
Oh, go for your life. Never know your luck. Might find where Billy Boy stashed his old granny's body.
Look, the Ellis file. Has anyone seen it?
Oi, that's the embezzlement thing, yeah?
Yes, that's right.
Hang on, I think it's over here somewhere. Go. Here it is. Under E for evening wear.
Check.
Oh, g'day. How are you? Can I help you?
It's Lieutenant Rosalie Morgan, here to see Senior Sergeant Croydon.
Ah, yeah, he's just a bit busy at the moment. No, hang on. I'll just grab him.
I'm lost.
Sorry to interrupt. Lieutenant Morgan's here to see you.
Ah, Lieutenant Morgan. Nice to see you again.
And you, Senior Sergeant. This is really very generous, thank you.
No, don't thank me. Thank Mrs. Cohen here. It's all her stuff.
Thank you, you're very kind.
Well, there we go. Problem solved. You get to make your donation and we get to keep our nice, tidy town.
Very good, both of you.
You are happy with this solution, I trust?
Oh, that'll be fine.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, oh, my pleasure, ma'am.
What's he doing?
Mr. Morrison, what the hell is going on here?
What does it look like? This place is due for demolition and they're still in my house.
Demolition? Since when?
Since always. I've just moved the date forward.
What are we supposed to do?
I don't give a fig what you do so long as you clear out.
Now, don't you think it's a bit extreme bulldozing the house simply because you can't get your own way?
I am acting well within my rights, Sergeant. So do your job and move them on.
Actually, sir, I am doing my job because right now I'm concerned there's a young girl hiding in the house.
Yeah, right. Well, why don't you go in there and check?
I will. Don't do anything stupid. Keep an eye on it, Joe. Tanya?
You're a fat old loser, mate. Get out of the way, you little punk, or I'll run you down.
Mr. Morrison, if we could just work something out.
Work something out. I've had enough
Look,
of
be
this.
reasonable. You can't do this.
I can.
Turn it off now.
Right then, you're coming with me.
Mr. Morrison, you can't do this.
Tanya.
Stop him. Do something. No, we go home. Turn it off now. Ollie! No, we go home. Ollie, get out of the way. Mr. Morrison, you can't do this. Ollie, get out of the way. Ollie, turn it off now. You've been warned.
You guys right?
First Ollie loses his job, then we lose our house. Well, we're stuffed.
Hey, don't worry, all right?
You want to sign this for us, Ollie? I've already been on to DHS. They're doing their best to try and find something for you.
I won't hold my breath. Morrison wouldn't even knock the place down if we hadn't been there.
He's right, you know. The guy's just been totally bloody minded.
Not entirely. The land around Morrison's house has just been rezoned light industrial. The house was due to be demolished anyway.
So you can expect a summons for reckless conduct endangering life?
No one's life would have been endangered if they hadn't been breaking the law.
That's an interesting legal argument. I'm sure your solicitor will be delighted to hear it.
Through this way, sir.
You happy now?
Ecstatic.
Yeah, what about our stuff?
What about it?
It may not have been much, but it was all I had.
Yeah, well, if they can find it under the rubble, they're welcome to it.
You lousy scum!
Chill out, mate. Hey, calm down, calm down. All right.
Come on, this is going to do us in
Thomas Police Station, Constable Lawson speaking.
If you want us to be in the park.
Fair enough. Mr. Morrison, please stay here.
Yeah, that's right. I'm the criminal. I'm the wicked landowner.
Just sign here, would you?
Joe, just got a report of a makeshift camp set up in the lane off Cobden Street. Saw a girl there yesterday. It's pretty well set up. Thought he'd better let us know.
Tanya? Hello? Bet it's the stuff from the supermarket.
Doesn't mean it's her.
Look, somebody's obviously been sleeping here.
Ben? Tanya?
Tanya? What? Tanya?
Where'd you go?
Tanya?
When she saw her, she took off.
We lost her in the back streets around Cobden Lane. It's such a maze.
So what, you reckon she'll go back there?
Oh, now that we've sprung her, I don't think so.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to drive past there a couple of times anyway.
She was pretty well set up. Food, shelter, she had everything she needed.
Except the care and protection of people who love her.
Her aunt? Oh, come on, Ben.
Joe, you don't know the first thing about her aunt.
Tanya would obviously rather sleep rough than go anywhere near the woman. We should never have started all this.
Started or what?
This zero-tolerance stuff.
I never called it that.
Call it whatever you like. If we'd left well enough alone, we wouldn't have a 15-year-old sleeping out in the open
Hang on a
tonight.
second.
Right, thank you, Parish. Taking the girl back to her home is standard procedure.
Yeah, and hassling those kids in the first place, was that standard procedure too?
Joe, Q, DHS.
Good news. We found you a place to stay.
Oh, for tonight?
It's a room at a community house. Just give this woman a ring and she'll tee it up for you.
Oh, this is St David's number.
Well, it doesn't matter, does it? It's not like we've got anything keeping you here.
That'll be all right, won't it, Ollie?
Yeah, OK.
Great, we'll take it.
It's probably not the greatest, but at least you'll be out of the weather.
Yeah, they reckon it's going to turn nasty later on.
Yeah, no surprises there. The way things are going.
Well, you'll be better off than Tanya anyway.
How come?
We found where she was living, but she ran away.
No, we really wanted a place in Mount Thomas. We might stop here. Thanks anyway.
Yeah, thanks.
They're all set to go to St David's, right? But they find out Tanya's not tucked up safe and sound like they thought she was, and suddenly they change their mind.
Well, they're worried about it. Quite frankly, so am I.
Poor kid, I hope they manage to find her.
Well, they've probably got more chance than any of us.
Let's hope they all just manage to keep each other nice and warm.
Any chance of getting an extra patrol tonight? See if there's any sign of her?
Are you volunteering?
Yep, sure am.
All right, count me in. Mount Thomas Police acting. Mr. Morrison. Yes, Mr. Morrison, if you just stop bellowing.
So, did you manage to sort out Barnacle Bill Morrison?
No, I went absolutely nuts.
I can't say I blame you. How would you feel being called a scumbag in bright blue letters?
In this case, it fits.
Bright blue?
Yeah, exactly the same colour as the other attacks too, but this time we know who we're looking for.
Not necessarily.
Oh, come on, Joe. You saw how Ollie went for Morrison this afternoon?
With good reason.
Yeah, well, no argument there, but still, it doesn't give him the right to go spray-painting Morrison's front fence.
Oh, no, not again. I thought you were going to stop this sort of thing happening.
Chris, we can't be
It's all right, Chris. It's under control. There's a personal grudge and we think we know who did it.
It's not going to impress the judges, though, is it? And they're going to be here any minute. He's just soup.
What time's the inspection?
First thing in the morning. They're staying here tonight.
Just steer them well clear of Bill Morrison's place and you'll be fine.
Oh, look, I'm sorry if I seem ungrateful. I just cannot stand the thought of that woman beating me again. Oh, Ruth. Oh, hello. Welcome to Mount Thomas. Come through to the dining room. Jenny's prepared you the most wonderful meal of trout and almonds.
Chris, you know I'm allergic to fish.
Oh, Ruth, I'm so sorry. I forgot. Look, Jenny will get you a sandwich.
Showers around the ranges, and the sudden cold snap will continue tonight with our overnight low getting down to around 8. Currently in St David's it's on 12
poor kids.
Don't look at me. I did not make those kids sleep out in the open.
Did I say you did?
No, that's what you think. What's that? Drive down. Can you hear me? The police, just stay calm. We're going to get you out of there. Extinguisher. Go. Okay, now I'm going to use an extinguisher. I want you to hold your breath. Cover your eyes, close your mouth. Okay.
Tanya.
You know, it's a miracle the fire didn't spread into the bin. But, we thought we'd wait till our auntie got here.
What did the doctor say?
Some superficial burns and smoke inhalation. They've got her sedated, but she's going to be fine.
Just as when you got there when you did.
Yeah, well, if she hadn't had to resort to sleeping in the bin in the first place, she never would have ended up here.
That is not your fault.
I was the one who suggested the crackdown.
And I was the one who approved it. So if anyone's to blame, it's me. Why don't you go?
Libby?
Tanya?
Where's Libby?
Tanya?
Ollie?
No, it's Ben Stewart from the police. Listen, Tanya, you've been involved in a fire, okay? It's okay. Everything's going to be all right.
Libby?
Your aunt, Miss
Ollie?
Carmichael, she's going to be here soon.
No, Libby.
Tanya, Senior Sergeant Croydon, can you tell me what happened? Tanya, can you tell me what happened?
It was cold. I was looking for somewhere to stop for the night.
You didn't light a fire, did you? Try and keep
No, I was asleep. And then I woke up and there was smoke everywhere.
Tanya?
Excuse me. What?
Tanya!
Oh, God. Are you all right? Where is she?
So, Tanya didn't light the fire.
That's what she's saying.
Early crime scene report shows traces of accelerant. They'll run tests to identify it.
So it was deliberate.
But why would anyone want to hurt Tanya?
We've done a pretty good job of it.
Right, so you do blame me.
No, us. I went along with it. And the end result is we've got a kid in hospital, 2 kids sleeping on the street in a bulldozed house.
Joe, it's not our fault that Bill Morrison wanted to bulldoze his house and those kids were living
No,
there.
but it is our fault that Tanya ran away after we lagged to her aunt.
We had no choice.
No, not after we picked them up for harmlessly hitting a can around the park.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I should have jailed them on the spot, thrown away the key.
They were squatting illegally, Joe.
Oh, electric chair then.
Now, cut it out. We've got a case to solve here, right? Now, do you both agree that the target was the bin and not the kid?
What, a deliberate act of vandalism?
Yeah, like the others.
But why?
I don't know. Maybe someone's trying to sabotage Chris's Proud Town campaign. I'm going to have a word to Tanya.
Okay.
Maybe I should have a chat to Libby and Ollie.
Oh, that'll be right.
Libby. I've been looking for you. Where's your friend?
Dunno.
Mind if we have a word?
Sure.
Just...
I found it.
So you thought you'd pick it up? What were you planning to do?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it might come in handy. Got to start again since Bill Morrison bulldozed my place.
Your place?
Do you know anything about the graffiti attacks in Mount Thomas over the past few days?
I told you already, no.
See, all 3 of them were done in bright blue paint, exactly the same colour as this.
Sorry, can't help you.
All right, where were you last night at about 9 o'clock?
At the railway workshops, trying to keep out of the wind.
Can anyone corroborate that?
Ollie.
Where is Ollie, do you know?
Yeah, right.
Because last night there was a fire at a charity bin in Penhope Road. Do you know anything about that?
No.
You didn't know that your friend almost got burnt to death?
What?
Tanya was sleeping in that bin when someone threw a match in it.
Is she all right?
Did you light the fire?
No, of course I didn't.
What about your friend Ollie? Did he do it?
No, give me a break. Where is she?
She'll be all right. She's in hospital.
Please, you gotta let me go and see her.
She's headed up to her neck.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tanya was adamant they weren't into graffiti.
Well, Libby was pretty evasive when we grilled her just now.
Yeah, but Tanya being burnt, that was a hell of a shock. She wasn't expecting that.
Well, obviously it wasn't deliberate.
Well, that's my point. I reckon it was a byproduct of them vandalising the bin.
Why does it have to be the same people who did the graffiti and the fire?
Because they're trying to stuff up Chrissy's campaign.
In which case it isn't these kids?
Well, maybe Ollie and Libby are responsible for the graffiti attacks and somebody else did the fire.
Libby's asking if she can go see Tanya. She's pretty upset.
Can we take her to see her?
Yeah, sure. If Libby did light this fire, I want her to face the consequences of her actions.
Tanya? Tanya, it's Libby.
Libby. Where have you been?
I'm sorry, I would have come sooner, but I didn't know.
Where's Ollie?
I don't know. These guys think we had something to do with the fire. Tanya, I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. Ollie and me, we should have taken better care of you.
Hey, don't worry about it.
No, we should have. We've been looking for you everywhere. I'm sorry, we should have found you a better place to hide.
Ollie, just a sec. Ollie! Ollie!
Yeah, all right. I spray painted that stuff on Morrison's fence. So what?
It's criminal damage, that's so what.
Yeah, that'd be right. Nobody cares about the stuff of mine he wrecked, do they?
And what's your stuff being wrecked got to do with the Welcome to Mount Thomas sign or the statue of Colonel Thomas?
What?
The other acts of vandalism around.
Hang on. I did Morrison's place, that's all. I had nothing to do with those
Ollie,
others.
come on, you expect us to believe that?
Believe what you like, I didn't do them. I just wanted to get the prat, right? And I did. Even used his own can of paint against him.
Hang on a minute. Are you saying the paint you used against Bill Morrison was from Bill Morrison?
Yeah, that's right. Picked it from his garden shed. I suppose you want to charge me with that too.
Yeah, I got spray paint in my garden shed. What's so unusual about that?
Would this be the can from your shed, Mr. Morrison?
I don't know. One can of spray paint looks pretty much like the rest.
Because Ollie Jones told us that he took this can from your shed and used it to spray paint your fence yesterday.
So the young hood's a thief as well as everything else. Well, that doesn't surprise me at all.
What do you use spray paint for, Mr. Morrison?
For when I go train surfing, what do you reckon?
Just answer the question, sir.
Well, I don't know. Odd jobs. It's just something you keep, you know?
You've been keeping this can very long. It's pretty new by the looks. Almost empty too. What odd jobs you been doing lately?
In bright blue.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Would they have included graffitiing the sign coming into Mount Thomas?
What?
How about adding a bit to Colonel Thomas's physique?
Oh, look, I'm not going to sit here and take
you also torched the charity bin in Penhope Road. What do you say to that, sir?
Crap, that's what I say. I never touched any charity bin, and I didn't do that graffiti either.
Well, he hardly seems like the tagging type, but everything points to him.
Parish?
No question. The paint can found in his shed was the right type, and most of it had been used, yet he refuses to offer any sort of explanation.
He's not obliged to.
Yeah, I know, but it still makes you wonder.
All right, assuming you're both right, and it is Bill Morrison, what the hell is his motive?
Well, PJ's theory is that somebody wants to deprive Mount Thomas of the Proud Town Award.
All right, if it is Bill Morrison, you can rest assured he'll be getting something out of it.
What, some sort of business kickback, you think?
Oh, he has a reputation for some very successful investments.
So you think you might have interest, say, in one of the other towns in the competition?
Well, why don't you look into it and find out?
And you sure about that? No, thank you. OK, bye.
Any joy?
Well, if we'd inquired a fortnight ago, we would have discovered that Bill Morrison owned a couple of choice properties in St David's Heights.
Oh, you got rid of them.
Afraid so. Word is he's raising capital for a new venture, an oil company distributorship to be built on the side of the squat.
So no other interest in St David's?
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly. Guess who his business partner is?
Yes, I'm in partnership with Bill Morrison. What of it?
And how would you describe your relationship with Mr Morrison?
I'm not sure if I understand what you're
Is it
getting.
close?
What's Bill been saying?
Just answer the question, please.
It's a business relationship. We're friendly, of course.
Friendly enough to ask a special favour? Like getting Bill to spray some graffiti around the place and making sure that Mount Thomas doesn't win that competition?
Chris Riley put you up to this, didn't she?
We didn't get this information from her.
So Bill has been talking.
He's more than just close, isn't he?
Why couldn't he keep his mouth shut?
Because Bill didn't want to be charged with arson.
Arson?
Or engaging in conduct likely to cause death or serious injury.
I really don't understand what you're talking about.
Are you saying you had nothing to do with the fire in the charity bin last night?
Of course I didn't. the graffiti, all right, I had Bill do that, but I don't go about setting fires.
Last night, you were observed leaving the Imperial Hotel just before the fire was detected.
Yes, because that bitch tried to upset me by serving fish.
Well, that's all the more reason for you to set fire to the bin.
Except I didn't. I was at that restaurant, what's its name? The Copper Pot, that's it. You can check if you like. I was nowhere near that bin.
We will check that. And in the meantime, you will be receiving a summons for willful damage.
You can't do that. It'll ruin my career.
Sorry, you should have thought about that a long time ago.
Bloody Bill Morrison.
For what it's worth, Mrs. Cohen, he didn't tell us a thing.
But you said that...
I asked you a question, you answered it. You got no one to blame for any of this but yourself.
So the manager does remember Ruth Cohen?
Sure does. She did nothing but complain about the service from the moment she arrived, which was shortly before 9.
And we still haven't got our arsonist. Huh?
Well, at least we have sorted out the graffiti matter.
No thanks to your zero-tolerance concept.
And what's that supposed to mean, Joe?
Oh, would you have asked Ruth for her name if she'd been in the park the other day?
Thank you, Parrish.
Excuse me, guys. Forensics just rang and they said that the accelerant used on the fire was lighter fluid.
Is that right?
Sorry, Mrs. Morrison. Hayden?
Well, look, how was I supposed to know there's going to be somebody in there? Besides, I was doing it for one of Dad's friends.
Hey, what friend?
You know, that lady in the four-wheel drive, Mrs. Cohen.
And to all of you who have worked so very hard, I'd like to thank you. Councillor Cohen made sure it was a very tough competition, but we got there in the end, and we got our just reward. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mount Thomas.
Not that we need that to be proud of our town, right?
You're not wrong there, Tom.
So how'd you guys go sorting out a place for those kids?
Oh, good news. I think there's a bloke in St David's who might be interested in giving Ollie an apprenticeship, and he and Libby are both on a shortlist for housing.
Fantastic. And what about Tanya?
She's agreed to give it another go with her aunt.
Not that it'll ever work, but...
Got any better ideas?
You already know it, I think.
Listen, you can knock it all you like, but if it hadn't been for my policy, we never would have caught that arsonist.
And Tanya wouldn't have been in that charity bin in the first place.
Yeah, all right, agreed. I suppose it's my shout.
No, look, I have to admit your policy flushed out Hayden, and if we hadn't have got involved, Ollie wouldn't have had a shot at a job. So I guess it's my shout.
No, it's my shout.
Oh, shout.
Man's not a camel. One of you just shout.
And the best part of Mount Thomas is the road out.
She didn't say that.
She did, and worse. That's why I really want Mount Thomas to win this Proud Town Award. You know, if St David's wins, we'll never hear the end
Well,
of
with
it.
you at the helm, I'm sure we'll win.
Not if Councillor Ruth Cohen can help it.
Ruth Cohen? Isn't she the one who had the
Stop
library
Mount
development?
Thomas from getting the library upgrade. That's her. She got all the money diverted to some project in her own ward.
Well, it's one way of getting yourself re-elected, I suppose.
Sorry I'm late, boss. I was just giving Sam a hand with the banner at the pub.
What banner?
Proud, you bet. Love it, Chris.
Good on you. Let's hope it works. Anyway, I'll see you all later. Thanks.
Okay,
yeah.
Have a good day, Chris.
So the town wins some dumb trophy. I mean, who really cares?
A lot of people, as it happens, Parish, including your landlady and your boss.
Yeah, I don't mind cleaning things up a bit.
Not if it interrupts your work in future. Bring it to my attention and I'll pass it on.
Like graffiti, that type of thing.
Exactly.
Oh, there's not really a lot of point, is there? It gets cleaned off one day, it's back again the next.
Haven't you ever heard about the broken window theory?
One of Einstein's, is it?
No, there's a building and a window gets busted. It doesn't get fixed, looks like nobody cares. Soon another one gets busted, then another. Before too long, you end up with a derelict building.
So you're saying fix the first window and then you
Or
won't...
you fix small problems before they become big ones, that's right.
So what, you're saying if we jump all over people for dropping Chewy in the street, they'll think twice about putting graffiti on a building?
Oh, well, worked pretty well in New York.
Zero tolerance, in other words.
This is not New York. Here, we tackle problems as soon as they come up.
Yeah, OK. Boss, we've got a problem.
Oh, that's charming. The first thing the Proud Town Committee are going to see when they drive into town. It's nice, eh?
Where have you two been?
Oh, we went to the hardware store for Chris to get some stuff to clean up that sign. Remember what you said about civic pride?
And nobody saw anything.
Oh, everyone's whizzing past at 100 clicks an hour.
All right, let's all keep our eyes peeled for potential graffiti artists.
This zero tolerance thing again.
Call it what you will.
Haven't we got enough work without running them in every time we see them jaywalking?
Oh, Joe, we wouldn't run them in for that. We'd just write them a penalty notice.
You know what I mean. So those kids over there, according to your new policy, we should move them on.
Well, I'll find out who they are anyway.
You know, actually going to hassle him, are you?
G'day. You. What are you doing?
Oh, bashing a few cans around, so what?
Well, you're littering the park, that's what. What's your name?
Joey.
Your full name?
Geller. Joey Geller.
I haven't seen you around here before. How old are you?
I don't have to tell you that.
No, but if I thought that you were under 16, I might decide that you were in need of care and protection and have to call in the DHS.
I'm 17, all right?
Where do you live?
I'm the place where I work. I'm a farm labourer.
And how come you're not labouring today?
Because it's only part-time.
Don't I know you?
No. She lives with me. She's 16, it's legal.
Can't she speak for herself?
Can't she? Watch it.
So, what do they call you then?
Rachel. Rachel Bing.
So, what's your name?
Now,
Phoebe.
I don't suppose
Smith?
any of you have been out on the highway today, near the Welcome to Mount Thomas sign.
No, I live at
What, someone's stolen it, have they?
No, I just asked you a question.
Sorry. The place to wear stains out the other way.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask all of you to move on, thanks. Give me that.
Yes, sir. Come on.
Hey. Those cans up.
They were just a bunch of kids.
Who have nothing better to do in the morning than hang around in a park.
Well, that's not illegal.
Hey, did you get the younger girl's details?
Yeah, name's Phoebe Smith. Said she goes to school, but today was a curriculum day.
You want to check the school for me, just confirm it?
Thanks, Tom. I really want to get this town spick and span for that committee.
Yeah, but unless you actually catch graffiti artists in the act, there's not much you can do about them.
Ben thinks they were hanging out at Memorial Park.
I think nothing